A text says, "You're on my mind." A bouquet from 1-800-Flowers says, "You're my everything." Heartfelt moments belong in the real world, not just your phone. For 50 years, 1-800-Flowers has helped millions of people make memories that'll last a lifetime with gifts they'll cherish forever. Their expertly curated arrangements and gift baskets ship nationwide with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Don't wait for the next big moment. Make it when you visit 1-800-Flowers.com/podcast. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/podcast.
Tina! Bring me the axe!
You're listening to Bring Me the Axe. I'm Brian White, and one half of this morbid equation, and I'm joined by my co-host and brother Dave White. Hey Dave, how you doing over there?
Oh, thank you for asking. Just took a sip of a very sour beer right before. It's not a good choice.
Made your face all pull up on itself?
Did. Just pull up to the bumper. I'm all right. I made myself some kimchi rice for dinner.
Oh God, I love kimchi.
Yeah, it's like I like to get like a good kimchi fried rice. I'm not good at making fried rice, so I just made rice and some ground chicken and threw a bunch of kimchi in it. It was pretty good.
You should have done the Cooking Price-Wise version of fried rice.
What is that?
You've explained it on the show before.
I don't even remember.
Like Vincent Price.
Oh, he puts like ham and shit in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I do. So I have a couple of his cookbooks, but I really want to make some of those recipes. They look god awful.
Yeah, a lot of mayonnaise. That'd be good video content.
A lot of beige food. Do you guys want to watch videos of me making beige food? I feel like
making Vincent Price food.
I mean, I could try.
He was a gourmand.
He was a ghoulish gourmand. I could try to be as charming as him because you can get his cooking show on Blu-ray now. It is delightful. I highly recommend that, but I could never be quite so charming.
Yeah. Oh boy, I don't know. I probably wouldn't eat that stuff. There, you're making that face again. You took another sip.
Well, I don't know what to think of this beer. It's spontaneously fermented.
What?
Rested on nectarines for 3 years.
That's a long time.
Well, the nectarines are probably not 3 years, but the fermentation or the resting is probably 3 years. Spontaneously.
Gotcha.
That is the part of the spontaneous part. That is when it grabs yeast from things that are just around.
Damn.
Barrel.
All right. I was going to ask you, like, what makes it spontaneous?
You know, if you're fermenting in like a barrel or resting in a barrel, it's going to pull yeast from the barrel. Just
no shit. Okay.
It's a bit of a gamble.
Barrel yeast.
Mm-hmm. Y'all like barrel yeast? Of course you do.
Shit. Well, we practically grew up in neighborhood video stores, and the steady diet of utter garbage that those shops provided us with continues unabated to this day, and there's no one else I enjoy chopping it up with more about trashy movies than Dave. Just before we get into it, here's a little housekeeping. If you want to keep up with us between episodes, you can also find us on Instagram at Bring Me the Axe Pod. Dave's over there at that.
Yes!
Yes! Give us a follow. Keep up with all the stuff.
I'm a little social media'd it out.
We had a nice little post today from our friend Sean Abley.
That was nice. It's fair.
This is very nice, yeah. Him unpacking his Bring Me the Axe Pride t-shirt.
Looks nice.
And of course he had to cut the sleeves off of it.
As is his way.
That's his way. It's his style. He's a sleeveless king.
He does roll sleeveless pretty frequently.
Yeah. I've been posting a lot. We're getting close to Halloween. We're getting close to October, and so I've been starting to post a lot of Haunted Overload stuff. I was up there over the weekend helping out with the build crew.
Yeah.
And it got me in the mood.
That's what you're going to do with your Halloween.
Oh yeah. I've got improvements to the costume that I've got in progress. I got up there. I was just suddenly in the mood. They featured me in the new promo, which I felt very good about.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And Yeah. And listener, if you are a New England listener and you want to be scary in October with me, DM me on Instagram, email me, bringmetheaxepod@gmail.com. Ask me. I can tell you how to do it. It's very easy to get involved. Do it for the animals.
So here's what you do. You find a house that you're not familiar with. You just walk into it. You will scare the shit out of the people who live inside. I promise you. That's really all you got to do.
It's even easier than that. Doesn't involve breaking and entering.
It's not really breaking. You're just going in.
And the people who get scared, they're consensual participants.
Okay. I tell you what, I've got a lot of, I don't know how this happened, a lot of fucking travel in the lead up to Halloween.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like a bunch of times in September and then in October as well. Got to going back to Boston a couple times in September. Going to Montreal in October.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to be here for Halloween, though. I am eager to see a Toronto Halloween.
Everybody's going to be dressed up in their hockey gear.
I feel like they're going to go all out. This is a city that loves stuff. They love doing stuff.
As evidenced in some of the stuff that you've posted to your Instagram.
I do occasion to do things with them.
Yeah. Yep. And if you don't know, we got another show called 99 Cent Rental, where we cover all manner of video store madness on the weeks that bring me the axis off. Our latest episode covering the Italian Mad Max ripoff New Barbarians is out now, and we'll be back next week in our continuing year of Shelley Winters with Poseidon Adventure. Yes.
I am in this is my Shelley Winters era.
We are knee deep in Shelley Winters.
That's right.
You can also contact us directly at bringmetheaxepod@gmail.com with any questions, comments, or suggestions. Do let us know if there's a movie that you love and like to hear us give it the business. And if you would like to support us on Patreon, you can look us up over there, patreon.com/bringmetheaxepod. There's a couple of tiers you can join there. All paying members get ad-free episodes. Subscribers at the $5 a month tier can look forward to our bi-weekly X-Files rewatch pod. Do you think I'm spooky? It's about 50% X-Files, 50% this day in 90s history.
Tell you what, none of it's good.
It's the 90s where, boy, we have look back on those with rosy glasses.
I try to punch it up, but I'm telling you now, the 90s were a tough hang.
They were. The latest episode is a look at the season 2 episode Soft Light. Yeah, we are right in the thick of it too. In like 1995, like Shinrikyo and the Oklahoma City bombing all happened within like a week of one another.
And the OJ trial. Jesus Christ.
I
think we're coming up on Michael Jackson too.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, it's all going down in the 90s.
LA is about to explode.
Yeah, pretty much. There's also our monthly Bring Me the Axe Millennium Edition, which is a bonus episode in which we explore a modern horror movie. The current episode is a look at Mandy. Mandy. Yeah. All Patreon subscribers, even the free tier, get access to our Discord server. Paying members get access to additional channels like voice and video chat and the watch parties option. Pop in on a Friday night, watch the subject of Monday's movie with the rest of us, with me and a bunch of other listeners.
So you're going to watch Poseidon Adventure coming up.
Oh, yeah. One of our listeners was quite excited about it.
Listen, y'all, Poseidon Adventure is one of my favorite movies. So buckle up.
Yep, we watched Piranha, had a good time. Once again, patreon.com/bringmetheaxepod. And hey, don't sleep on Laughing in the Dark. Are you afraid of the Dark Rewatch podcast with our friends Eileen from Uike Horror, Mikey from Morbid and the Rewatcher. You know him, you love him.
I do.
Get it out now. You especially. None more than you.
He is away right now, and I am bored out of my fucking mind.
It's out now wherever you get your podcasts. And lastly, if you like what you hear, you can subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. We're also on YouTube. Search us by name and subscribe if you prefer to consume your podcast that way. And you'd be doing us a favor by leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So just take a minute. Take a minute. So helpful. Make us happy. Mm-hmm. See that number go up and we smile. Our day gets a little brighter. Mm-hmm. And if you listen on YouTube, do us a favor, give the episode a like and leave a comment. We love hearing from you guys. So when I get that all out of the way right at the top of the show, because here's what we're talking about tonight.
Piranha.
Who could have imagined they were there? Who could have predicted they would attack? And now, who would survive? Piranha, they're here.
You bitch! Stay back!
Piranha. They're hungry.
What's the matter with you?
Piranha. They're unstoppable.
Stop that! Hey, keep your hand out of the water.
What's wrong with the water?
The water is filled with carnivorous fish.
Piranha. They call them the devilfish because wherever they go, hell waits below.
They breed like flies. There'll be no way to stop them.
Suddenly, no one is safe. And everyone must be warned. The water is now a human death trap.
2 people have been killed up there, and more have been killed all along the river.
You gotta believe us.
These are the man-eaters who go beyond the bite of all other jaws. Sharks come alone. Piranha come in thousands. Crazed by the scent of blood, they live by the taste of flesh. With razor teeth, they can strip a man to the bone in a frozen instant of terror. Piranha. They're here. They're hungry. They'll eat you alive. Who can stop them?
I am no ichthyologist, but I'm pretty sure everything that man said was a lie.
100%. Hold that thought because we got Brian's Piranha Minute coming up in just a
Piranha Corner.
Brian's Piranha Corner. I had not seen this movie probably since I was a kid.
I love this movie.
So this is one of the first times I've seen it in a really long time. I remembered very, very little of it. I certainly don't remember it being as silly as it is because my memory of it was that this was kind of a dire, grim movie. And it's probably because I was a kid when I saw it and a lot of children are harmed in this movie.
A lot of children are harmed in it. The humor also is of a very particular nature that would probably not resonate with children.
It's super Joe Dante jokes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a Joe Dante joint. I mean, it's an homage to movies of a particular era. And it is that through and through.
Yeah. But I loved it.
I
loved it. It's a great movie.
It's very silly.
It's a lot of fun. It's very silly. It's wonderful. It's what happens when Roger Corman just kind of leaves you alone.
Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, for better or worse, like it as a film, it has a terrible structure. It moves at kind of a weird pace where it is like real sluggish and then it is just breakneck to the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's fun, I Pino Donaggio did the score, and I can't imagine a worse person to pick for this movie to do the score.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit of facts. So the year was 1978.
Yes.
Year of our Lord. Mm-hmm. Now 1977 was the big year for Jaws ripoffs.
Yep.
There were a shitload of them.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much in 78.
And I mean, hell, most of them were made by Italians.
Actually, and here are 5 of them from 1978. They call them nature movies.
Mm-hmm. With some of my favorite nature exploitation.
Yep. Have you ever seen Jennifer?
She controls the bugs?
She controls
the beasts?
Snakes. It's
yes,
Phenomena.
I have seen it, but I don't remember it. I remember it being very, very bad. It's
Phenomena, but with snakes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Also that year, The Bees came out.
I fucking love it. It's so good. That's John Saxon.
Yeah.
John Saxon and oh God, what's his name? Who's my favorite Dracula?
John Carradine?
Carradine. He is in it, and it is the laziest performance I have ever seen of John Carradine. And this is a man who never turned down a single movie.
Oh, that's so great.
He was basically like, I'll be in your movie, but I'm wearing a bathrobe the whole time. I'm not even going to leave my hotel room. And they were like, whatever.
Oh, shit. It's like John Huston in Tentacles, where he's just like, look, I'm just going to sit here and talk on the phone the whole time. You cool with that? They're like, goddamn, yeah, right we are. You're John Huston.
Yep.
And on a continuing trend, The Swarm came out that year.
A surprisingly disappointing B movie.
Michael Caine is in that one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a bigger budget movie. It's kind of the Irwin Allen approach to the nature exploitation, but it just is real fucking boring.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the one I remember because I remember seeing that one on TV when Creature Double Feature was still on.
Yeah.
And so that I still have a memory of that one. Let's also in 78, Jaws 2.
I mean, it's not terrible. It's
not good.
Got that girl who just shrieks in it the whole time. And you're like, you could have cut this entire scene out. I want her to be eaten.
Yeah. She's an angel, famously.
Yep.
Donna
Yes,
Wilkes.
Yep.
And then closing it out. Long Weekend.
It's kind of homophobic.
I've not seen it. Crappy Australian couple is disrespectful to nature. Nature is disrespectful to them as a result.
They do get attacked by seagulls, and that's fun. They get attacked by a lot of birds.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because it's like, you're in Australia. That is a continent that has no shortage of things that actively want to kill you.
Oh, yeah. Like all wildlife in Australia is out to kill you.
They have a marsupial that will fist fight you.
They do. I've seen it. The guy has to go down and punch it in the face to rescue his dog.
Mm-hmm. They also have wombats. I'm a big fan of wombats.
Wombats. I think quokka are also, I think that's how you say that. They're also kind of quokka. They're kind of around there. They're not dangerous at all. They're actually super friendly. They always seem to be smiling.
They're very pesky, I believe.
Oh, really? Okay. Because they'll just come up to you. They have no natural predator, so they're just like, they just live it up.
Yeah, they're like, oh, hello, would you give me food, please? They're like they're like
the squirrels. They're like the squirrels at fucking Hollywood Forever.
Okay, yes. Didn't like that.
Yeah. So, cast and crew. Director is Joe Dante, as mentioned, directing one of his first features while still working for Corman and New World. This was made on the heels of Hollywood Boulevard, which he co-directed with Alan Arkush for less than $100,000. Significantly less than $100,000. I think that budget was something like $55,000.
Roger Corman was like, here's a 20. I want you to kick out a movie for me.
Yep. And they did it. Proving he is a very capable filmmaker in the Roger Corman Film School Crash Course. Piranha was budgeted significantly higher at around $900,000, but ended up losing a couple $100,000 of that to Corman's production of Avalanche, which he expected to be a bigger movie.
Guess what? It wasn't. It wasn't. Terrible film.
I saw it a couple of years ago, and it is fucking boring.
Yep.
Real boring.
Like, for a disaster movie, it is like perilously boring.
Yeah. It's the one, it's like one of those examples where Corman's always like, I always never lost a dime on them. And it's like, you lost your fucking shirt on that one, guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But not this one. Piranha was the one that won out in the end. Yeah. Dante proved that he could make a great movie with very little money, teaming up with writer John Sayles once again and breaking with Corman for The Howling was the best move that he ever made.
I think this is John Sayles' first movie too.
This is John Sayles' first movie.
John Sayles, what a weird career he's had.
Very, very strange career. There's a numerous arcs to it where it's like, he's like, oh, hey, I'm writing movies. Oh shit, this is kind of a pain in the ass. Maybe I will just go back to being a writer. And then he's like, no, I think I'll keep making these. And then he ends up directing a bunch of Bruce Springsteen videos. Yeah.
And a lot of his movies that he writes, it's like, crappy. Big movies, crappy. Big movies, crappy. TV.
Yeah.
He wrote the screenplay for the Alienist series. Did you watch any of that?
No, but I heard it was good.
I watched a couple of them. I read the books and I really loved the books, but I couldn't get into the show. But he wrote those too. Also wrote Alligator.
Yeah. Hey, You gotta, I, from what I understand about John Sayles is he was a sort of one for you, one for me kind of guy where he would like write whatever and then he would take the money and sort of put it into something kind of independent that he wanted to make. Oh,
so that's Alligator. Like that's
yeah, obviously.
That was the one for him.
Yeah.
Look, Alligator's a great movie. I don't know what you're talking about.
Our cast includes Heather Menzies, Louisa Von Trapp herself, making her second animal horror of the 1970s. The first being...
What's the first one? Your pronunciation is exquisite.
I practiced. Yep, I expected a lead role in one of film's greatest musicals of all time. This is going to sound super shady. I realized this after I wrote it. One of film's greatest musicals of all time to lead to a much higher profile career in film. But like a lot of actors in these cast segments, she ended up just doing a lot of guest spots on TV shows and made for TV movies.
So much TV.
Like a shitload. Like I think the only series that she had a regular part in was the fucking Logan's Run show. And I think that had like 12 episodes.
One season. I think 14 episodes.
She did a couple of TV movies, bios about James Dean and Senator Joseph McCarthy.
Ooh.
Which I want to know where the movie lands on which side of the fence the movie lands.
American hero Joseph McCarthy.
The hallowed name. Oh shit, yeah. And then she retires kind of in the late 80s for more stable mother role. She married Robert Urich until his death in 2002.
Huh.
Yeah.
Spencer himself, huh?
Yeah. And then after his death, she was like an advocate for cancer research and charities.
I think Robert Urich, weirdly, the first celebrity death that I remember with like clarity. I don't know why.
It does kind of stick out. Like when I read about it, I was like, oh yeah, I remember when that happened. And all of us were kind of collectively like, shit, as though Spencer for Hire was like this mega sensation.
Or like a Michael Landon was another one.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they were
like
all these
fucking dudes that I have no idea who these guys are at the time, but I'm just like, oh, so sad. So sad.
Yeah. You're like, oh, fucking Highway to Heaven. God damn. I was a teenage werewolf, right?
Little Joe.
And then they had to make all these little biopics that were like, he was a dark gentleman. It's like, oh, okay. All right. Well, why you gotta spoil my fucking memory of this guy?
I don't know that he was.
I don't either.
He had that other biopic about how he wet the bed until he was like 14. You ever see that?
No.
His parents were real shitty. His mother was like super narcissistic.
Okay.
And like wicked mean to him. And he would like wet the bed and it was mostly anxiety.
Maybe that's why he was he had a dark side.
His son, homosexual horror director.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah,
Who's his son?
What's his face?
What's
Freaky?
Oh shit, okay.
He made Ma.
Oh, all right.
I think he wrote Ma. I don't know if he directed it.
Christopher Landon.
There you go.
Yeah, it was right on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, we've also got Bradford Dillman, actor of stage and screen. He played two entirely separate police captains having the worst times of their life trying to rein in the original psycho lone wolf cop Dirty Harry Callahan in both The Enforcer and Sudden Impact.
You might also remember him. This is the second time in, I think, a week that I'm going to mention this movie, Guyana, Cult of the Damned.
Yeah, I know. I was going to bring that up too. Yep. He also starred with Michael Caine in the aforementioned The Swarm the same year as this movie. Just living it up in these nature horror movies in 1978.
I mean, I just feel like this was a time when they were fucking cranking out movies. Like, if you're an actor, what a time to be alive. I mean, except for Heather Menzies, but everyone else.
Right, including Kevin McCarthy, who pretty much everybody recognizes for his role in the original 1956 Invasion of the Body Snatchers, or maybe you confuse him with the Speaker of the House under Biden that Republicans just had to have, only to remove him months later. I personally can only see McCarthy as the bad guy from UHF.
He is professional crazy guy, Kevin McCarthy.
Yeah.
He just plays these because he... In Body Snatchers,
just because of that famous ending.
Yeah, he's sort of panicky all the time. And so he just kept pretty much playing that character over and over again.
Yeah, that was great. He was a founding member of the Actors Studio.
Was he?
He was. And pretty much as much a regular in Joe Dante movies as Dick Miller in appearing in 7 of Dante's movies.
If you ever needed proof that Joe Dante is like a film fan, borderline obsessive, maybe not borderline, maybe actual obsessive, look at the dudes he constantly finds room for. Yeah. They're like men of a particular era.
Including this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love that. I reached out to him through his website to see if we could get him on the show. No dice.
Joe Dante?
Joe Dante.
Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, he seems like a nice enough guy.
Seems all right, yeah. But
I won't take that rejection strongly.
Me either. No, because he's a busy man.
Yeah.
And who are we but podcasters?
Is he a busy man though?
I think so. I think he's still working.
Doesn't seem like it.
Yeah. So hey, listener, come on over here for a minute to Brian's Piranha Corner.
Oh, you're talking about piranhas?
So I would tell you about piranhas.
Piranhas.
The piranha. That's the Brazilian pronunciation.
Piranha.
Piranha. No, one of the listeners at the watch party the other night had to point that out for us.
Oh, la-dee-da.
I don't know, we kept going like, why do they keep saying it that way?
They will pronounce it 3 different ways in this movie.
Don't get comfortable. So, hey, the piranha is a freshwater fish of the Serrasalminae family, and they exist primarily in South American rivers and floodplains. They are popularly depicted as vicious and very dangerous carnivorous fish and will eat anything that enters their habitat. But this is not exactly true, and they certainly can't reduce large prey to bones in short order. Piranha are primarily predatory in schools against other fish, but are actually omnivorous and also subsist on plant life. They do, however, have some of the strongest bites of all the fish out there, with a mouthful of pointy, serrated teeth, but they typically only try to feed on mammals in the absence of typical prey, say in times of drought when the river levels run low. And when they do attack mammals, they tend to just attack feet and hands. The risk of injury is quite low, being that they're quite small fish with little mouths. You can also eat them.
Yep, gonna eat you with my little mouth.
Do you remember in the 90s over at Hampton at I can't remember, Taylor River, somebody released a bunch of piranhas into the little fishing and swimming area?
I do not. Why would you do that?
I don't know. Just needed to get rid of their pet piranhas.
Huh.
Yeah.
Now, see, the thing that makes a great white shark scary is that it is massive.
It's humongous.
It is extremely powerful.
Mm-hmm. Very aggressive. Ooh, black eyes, like a doll's eyes.
Like a doll's eyes. And it uses its mouth to feel things because it can't see very well. So when it bites you, it has a massive mouth full of razor sharp teeth, and it has an extremely powerful bite force. You will die just because of all of those things. That's what makes it scary. It could just and when it wants to eat you, well, then it's all over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like that one in New Jersey in the teens there, 1916 or whatever. That thing wanted to eat everybody. It wasn't a great white, though.
Also, piranhas, not incensed by the scent of blood. They don't give a shit.
Not even a little? They're not just like, oh, okay.
No, not even a little.
Yeah. They don't seem very threatening. I'm not saying I want to get up on them.
No. I have no desire to be near them. I don't really care for sea life.
I'm not a water person. I don't like it. You can drown in it pretty easily, and then if it's a big body of water,
I like a nice swimming pool, but don't get me near the ocean. I don't even want to go near like a river.
No, bull sharks can get into the river.
Yeah, see,
that's what happened in the New Jersey story. It got caught in the river because it couldn't find its way out. It just got pissed,
as depicted in Steven Spielberg's Jaws. Went up in the waterway.
It got pissed, and then it just started eating everybody.
Because what do? You get mad. You're just gonna start biting everybody. You lash out.
It's like chomping on a kid, and then this guy jumps into the water to try to save the kid. It fucking swings around and grabs him too.
Yeah,
bites his leg off. It's just like, fuck you, man. This is my thing, not yours.
But this movie's going to convince you that Piranha, they're a threat. They're threatening.
I'm gonna tell you, this movie doesn't spend a lot of time trying to convince you really of anything. It really just moves fast. It does. It feels like a bunch of set pieces more than it does a film.
Oh, for sure. Like, I know that they probably wrote a bunch of like big moments where like, now we're going to eat the camp children. Now we're going to eat all the people at the resort. Now we're going to have this moment with the guy kind of dangling his feet off the dock. And then they're like, now you got to write the connective tissue between them. And they're like, God damn it.
Well, that's the problem, is that it was Corman's sort of way that he didn't really care about connective tissue. He didn't really care about character development. Roger Corman, I mean, you see our many discussions about Roger Corman for more information.
Oh, we had an entire episode about him.
He was not a very thoughtful person when it came to the construction of a movie. He knew how to make movies fast and cheap, and he knew how to make money. It's not to say he didn't care about what he was doing, but profit was the primary motive. So in this movie, he was like, keep it simple, y'all. Let's just, it's a Jaws ripoff. Let's do it. And so, sales wrote his movie. And I know that Brad Dillman at least was like, there's like no character here at all. And Sales was like, yeah, Corman doesn't really want to, he doesn't want us to like make a movie. He just like drive-in shit, And he was like, all right, but I'm an actor, like, can we do something? And so Sales went back and like rewrote a bunch of shit for him. I think this script probably had a lot of drafts. And it feels that way.
Yeah. So Universal Studios is crazy protective over Jaws, especially back in 1978, since the year prior, literally everyone made some kind of a shark horror movie. They sued everyone, even into the 80s, with bottom-of-the-barrel sharksploitation movies from Italy like The Last Shark.
What are you talking about?
In the 78, word got back to them about Piranha as they were gearing up for a Jaws 2 release, and they put the legal wheels in motion to stop New World from releasing Piranha. But Steven Spielberg got an early look at the movie and enjoyed it so much that he persuaded Universal to drop the suit, with the understanding that Piranha is a spoof of shark attack movies, which I kept seeing. Everybody calls this like a satire, a spoof, a send-up. I disagree with that.
It's a ripoff, 100%.
Yeah. So Spielberg also considers this the best of the Jaws ripoffs out there. He obviously hasn't seen The Shark Hunter.
Well, how do you stand up to Franco Nero punching a shark?
This is true.
In the face.
Yeah, but this was one of the first movies to get Joe Dante on Steven Spielberg's radar, and thus they were a match made in heaven.
I mean, what is Steven Spielberg if not a fellow film fanatic of a particular age?
Definitely a fellow traveler with Joe Dante. Like, they see eye to eye.
Yeah.
Very on most things, for
it's
sure.
It's sort of like how Quentin Tarantino and Eli Roth are both talentless hacks. It's very similar.
They can smell it on one another.
Mm-hmm. The shame and desperation. Yeah.
Yeah. One of my favorite details about this movie is that Corman submitted it to the MPAA and made all the recommended cuts necessary for an R rating. But when the movie secured a certification, he just sent the original cut with none of the R-rated MPAA cuts out for distribution, because he knew that no one in the MPAA was following up on his movies when they went to theaters.
I wonder about that. I mean, I know that is the tale, but that feels real risky. And there's nothing in this movie that strikes me as particularly aggressive enough to earn an X rating.
True. Children in peril tend
that
to
is
be...
the one thing that I think is like, okay, maybe that, because that is a harrowing scene.
And you can also kind of see that at work in Humanoids from the Deep.
Yeah, Humanoids from the
that's
Deep
a pretty
is trash.
That's unbelievable garbage, but it's also kind of a hard R-rated garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it has like Fishman rape in it.
Yeah.
Gross.
Don't like that. I like that movie. Don't like that part of it, though. Yeah. Phil Tippett did the creature design for this one, slumming it after a fucking slam dunk with Industrial Light and Magic on Star Wars.
It does seem like a weird, sure, why not?
Yeah. He's an effects man who needs no introduction, but I'm going to do it anyway because his work rules, and he carried on the legacy of Ray Harryhausen by developing the Go motion system for ILM, demonstrated by the Imperial Walkers at the beginning of The Empire Strikes Back. You see this system at work more and more in the 80s as visual effects are still a long way off in movies like Dragon Slayer, RoboCop, and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, just to name a few. His magnum opus, however, is one of the biggest special effects movies of all time, a movie that left quite an impression on young people in the 90s, Jurassic Park.
He would think his magnum opus is something else. Did you ever see Mad God?
Oh, shit, yeah.
That was his real magnum opus.
That's the movie that he spent years trying to get
30-something years, almost 40 years making this movie. The whole thing is stop motion. It is interesting, bleak as hell, and unfortunately extremely slow.
I had a really hard time paying attention to it when it was
It has
Shudder.
a fantastic soundtrack, though.
No. The special effects lead, however, was Rob Bottin.
17-year-old Rob Bottin.
17 years old Rob Bottin.
And this poor little boy worked himself so hard that he ended up in the hospital due to physical exhaustion.
Yeah. Fucking bleed for art, Rob. Yeah, he's gonna
God bless him, it worked.
Fucking 4 years later, he's gonna rip it out with the thing.
Mm-hmm. I guess that depends on who you talk to. I hear John Carpenter. His negative feelings about that.
He's just got negative feelings overall about that movie.
He sure does.
Which is fucking too bad. John, relax. Everybody loves that.
I like him the way he is. He's cantankerous.
There is a gory remake of this movie from 2010 from the 3D renaissance of the time. It is extremely silly and way more enjoyable than it has any right to be. I've also never seen the sequel, Piranha 3 Double D.
It's pretty much the same movie.
Yeah.
There is a 1995 remake of this that
I
knew nothing about.
Me either. Was completely surprised to find this out.
Yep. Starring the greatest American hero, William Catt.
Yep.
James Cameron, one of my favorite actors of all time.
You know, we love him.
Mila Kunis and Punky Brewster.
Mila Kunis must have been 8 years old?
In 95? No, she's probably about 15, 13,
okay.
Something like that. She's my age. It was made for Showtime by Corman.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I had no idea. I've never seen it. It's on Tubi.
I'll have to watch it sometime, see if it's any good. I mean, the fact that we're just finding out about this now, I'm going to wager.
Probably not.
Probably not. The 90s were not a good time for Roger Corman.
No. It's all downhill for Corman pretty much after the 80s.
Yeah. What, you don't like Carnosaur?
I mean, it's fine.
Soundtrack by Pino Donaggio, who's worked with everyone.
Look, I am a huge fan of Pino Donaggio. I also recognize that Pino Donaggio works in a very particular style that is probably best suited for a Zeffirelli movie. And yet he found himself working largely with horror and sci-fi and thrillers.
Yeah. Here it is.
Very, very sentimental.
Between the 70s and the 90s, he is kept busy between Joe Dante and Brian De Palma while also working his ass off for Luigi Cozzi, Claudio Fragasso for some fucking reason, Antonio Margheriti, Michele Soavi, and occasionally Dario Argento.
The Soavi movie is the Sect. Oh, no, that's the Argento movie. The Sect. No, that's Soavi.
That's Soavi.
It's not very good.
It's his follow-up to The Church.
Yeah, it's not very good. His music is extremely sentimental. It's very string heavy. There's lots of big swells.
Yeah.
His score for Carrie, fucking fantastic.
You know what my favorite one is out of all of them that I've heard? He's prolific as hell, but my favorite one that I've heard, Tourist Trap.
Tourist Trap is very good. So that's a good period for him. The Howling, Carrie, Don't Look Now is a little iffy. He does Body Heat. That's really good.
Don't Look Now is one of his first ones.
Yep. One of his first American. He's one of those guys that was like kicking around Italy for a long time.
Like if you couldn't afford Ennio Morricone, you could get Pino Donaggio.
I mean, you wouldn't even go that low. You could get somebody. You would get, Piero Umiliani before you'd go to fucking Pino Donaggio. But like, he was just one of those guys that was like a session musician. I think, whereas most of them stayed in Italy, he didn't. He, I think, moved to the U.S.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so that's why he has
to
such a big career.
He continued to split his time between Italy and the United States.
He had much more success here than he did there. Probably just because Italy everything was so entrenched there. Like if you were not a part of those various movements, then you just didn't really find a lot of work, probably.
Right. They'd be like, hey, you make disco music? Oh, no. Do you do progressive rock? Oh, no. All
he
right.
did write, I think he wrote You Don't Have to Say You Love Me.
Oh, shit.
I think that was like a big money maker for him.
Okay.
He recorded it, I believe. I don't know if he recorded it or someone else. It was like an Italian hit, and then Dusty Springfield recorded it.
Fucking A. Good for him.
Yeah.
His name's real fun to say.
It is Pino Donaggio.
Pino Donaggio. You can say it like Super Mario.
Yeah, he sounds like he's like a little cartoon mouse who conducts an orchestra.
Or he's Super Mario's buddy with a little mushroom hat on his head.
Yes, maybe. I feel like he has more dignity than that. Not much, but some.
I can also see him as a cartoon mouse.
There you go.
Yeah, like Topo Gigio.
Topo Gigio. Pino Donaggio.
Hey, I got a question for you. Was there a tie-in novel?
Oh.
Yes, there was.
Yes, there was, and it is way more detailed than you'd think.
I know the guy the author is a guy named Gary Brander, who probably like looked at the script and was like, "There is no fucking story here."
I feel like that's what I would be like if I was writing these tie-in novels. I'd just get carried away, and they'd be like, "You've written an entire series." I'd be like, "Yeah, but it needed it."
They'd be like, "This Friday the 13th tie-in is 700 pages. Does it need to be that long?" And you'd be like, "Yes, I do. We need to know
my things remembered.
All about the Voorhees family tree going back to the settlement of the United States, you idiots."
This is my swan's way. Fuck off.
Yep. And my last note: Dick Miller does not play Walter Paisley in this movie.
One of the few.
Yeah.
However, I will say this is probably the most screen time Dick Miller has ever had.
He's like an actual character.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And you gotta have your little. You gotta have your bad guy money man. Yep. Otherwise it's not
your mayor from Jaws, if you will.
Right. So, how did it review at all?
It sure did.
All right.
Not well.
I'm shocked.
I did have a hard time finding reviews. There are a bunch of them, but it just took me a while to track them down. Let me hit you with Michael Blowen, the Boston Globe. Piranha is a definitive B movie and is thoroughly bathed in the audience's primitive fear of man-eating beasts. Unfortunately, there is nothing original in this movie. Piranha is a species endangered by its derivative roots. Got him.
In your face, Piranha.
He zinged you there, Joe Dante.
Hey, Marge, you hear me zing Werewolf Joe Dante?
So this is Joe Baltaki. Balki Bartakamus.
Yeah.
Joe Baltaki, Philadelphia Daily News.
We're going to do the Dance of Joy.
Mm-hmm. Piranha is essentially a low-budgeted, successful version of Jaws 2. It's successful because it doesn't take itself very seriously and because it delivers exactly what its intended audience wants. Oddball, sadistic humor, and plenty of gore. It's fast, funny, and uses more red dye than the two Jaws flicks together.
This movie's got a lot of bloody water, for sure.
It does. Sure does. Here's the Gene Genie's take.
Oh, shit.
Spoiler, he hated it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Piranha is a simple-minded, cheaply made shock film that appeals to our fascination in watching other people get mutilated. If you see this film, this is what you're saying about yourself. I want to see people have their flesh torn apart.
Oh my God, shut up.
I feel like that could also have been an IMDb user review.
Yeah. That's what we think of you, Gene Siskel. You're an IMDb reviewer.
Yep. You may as well be. You write like one. Here's Robert Butler, Kansas City Times. Piranha is a shameless ripoff of the Jaws school of menacing sea life. The film has no dramatic tension, some very sluggish acting, and the special effects are limited to bubbling water that suddenly turns bright red as the victim is about to go under for the last time. Technically, the film is adequate, but the whole idea is about as fresh as halibut defrosting in your freezer during a blackout. Double zing, got him.
You fucking hack.
Yep. Yeah. How about Houston Chronicle?
Okay.
Piranha was not made on a large budget, but its director, Joe Dante, does as well as can be expected on the money made available to him. He can do nothing about the script, which is silly. If you've seen Jaws and one other animal peril movie, you've seen all this film has to offer in the way of thrills and chills. I did find there was one other one that
Okay.
I can't understand why this movie was even made, because there is no story to this and no creative spark. Always going in looking for the spark. This is B-movie trash, so boring and irritating. It can't decide what emotion it wants the audience to have during most of the scenes, and that is a huge problem. If the audience is confused about what is meant to be feeling, there can be no satisfaction from watching a film.
Relax.
I mean,
but also they're kind of not wrong about this movie's tone shifts.
The tone is all over the place. Like, it's mostly kind of lighthearted and weird, and then at the end it's like digs in.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Well, we're gonna dive into this movie right after these messages.
Let's all go to the lobby.
Okay, you ready? Here we go. We open on the last place you'd ever want to go skinny dipping.
Texas.
For some reason. No trespassing, the sign says. A young couple sneak through the woods by the light of the moon. They seem to be looking for a good place to make camp for the night.
I mean, we are just liberally lifting the opening of Jaws right here.
Yeah.
Flirtatious.
Where are we going?
Swimming!
They come upon a fence and crawl through a gap, and the girl remarks that this place wasn't on the map. I wonder why. I wonder why that is. Why would they?
Well, it's probably for perfectly reasonable, normal reasons.
And the sign said no trespassing, so like this is kind of on you.
So they break in. They find a large pool of standing water, and their first thought is, "Let's jump in."
Yeah.
The 70s were gross.
Inside, they find a pool that looks perilously like a water treatment plant. She dips a hand in the water, and we flash to a close-up of a monstrous fisheye opening.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, it doesn't smell like water."
Smells like pee. The two kids strip down and jump in for a swim because we got to hit them with the boobs right off the gate.
Right away.
Right out the gate.
Right out the gate.
So almost immediately, the dude starts complaining, thinking that she bit him, but she didn't bite him.
Yeah, she also never goes underwater, so how would she bite him?
And they swim a bit, and he starts thrashing around as the water turns red and then disappears under the surface. And the girl screams for him and then just starts screaming in general. And she tries to climb out, but succumbs to the deadly fish attack and sinks underwater.
I mean, to be fair, it did say no trespassing.
Like I said, this is on you, kids.
Yep.
Ominously, the camera pans to one side and a door opens and someone comes out to see what all the fuss was about. Cut the titles. So now we cut to an airport where a young woman plays a real rudimentary video game adapted from Jaws.
And if you had gone to the film archive museum, the motion picture museum.
Yeah.
If you had gone there, they have that there.
Oh shit, really? Could you play it?
No.
Oh, God damn it.
No, it's just there. It's part of the display. You're not supposed to touch things in the museum.
I want to play the Jaws game.
Well, you can play it on New England S and NES, Nintendo Entertainment System.
The New England Entertainment System.
It's like I'm having a stroke.
I have played the Jaws game. It's kind of fun.
It's okay.
Her employer then rents a car for her.
It's Mel Cooley from Dick Van Dyke.
She'll be
You
riding
might
up
also know him from, he is in The Birds as well.
Oh, right. See, this
He's
is
the neighbor
Joe
in The
Dante.
Birds.
This is Joe Dante doing that shit.
Well, he's also Mel Cooley. If anybody recognized him, it's from Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah.
He was their, I guess, kind of their boss.
So, she'll be riding up some rough roads to Indian Point. The girl is Maggie, and she is a bounty hunter. And ironically,
She's
now,
a real wacky lady too. She's zany.
I love how she's resourceful.
She is. The problem with her character is they can't seem to nail down what kind of person she is.
She's zany.
She's zany. She's very assertive, but then she's not. And then she's creative and funny, but sometimes she's really obnoxious.
She was originally written for a man, so I would imagine that in those drafts of this script, she wasn't like a funny character. She was probably like
Just an asshole.
take charge, and
The worst kind of man.
So yeah, right now but the thing that's ironic is right now she can't find her plane ticket.
Oh, wow.
So droll. So droll.
We are in for hijinks.
We next find ourselves in the country. Keenan Wynn wheels a wagon full of booze up the hill to our man Paul Grogan.
Let me tell you a story about Keenan Wynn. So his father is, this is Keenan Wynn. He was very good friends with Judy Garland. And towards not really like the end of her life, but sort of like the real low period, like in the 50s, maybe late 50s, maybe probably late 50s, like low point in her life. She was a mess most of the time. She was really fucked up all the time. They like welcomed her into their home, and she would like sleep on his son's bedroom floor.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right. That's our man. Keenan Ivory Wynn.
So his son, Ned, wrote a book called I think it's called We Have Always Lived in Hollywood. It's really interesting. It's a little slow and kind of boring sometimes, but it's super interesting because it's like has all these characters in it.
Oh shit.
But you read about that part and it's like, this is all just real sad.
Yeah. Is it like we've always lived in the castle? I
mean, they're less shut in.
Okay.
There's no hammer murder, if I remember correctly. But isn't that what? Don't they murder him with a hammer in that?
I think
that
so.
book?
Yeah. It's been a while since I read it, but yeah.
He's great in this though.
Yeah. Keenan, or Jack, if you will, and I think you will, gets real romantic about these hills. He certainly doesn't miss his old city life at all. It's a beautiful life out in these pastoral climes.
And he has a dog. He has a dog named Brandy, named after the alcohol. And
he is a mega booze hound.
Yeah.
He's got a whole alcohol delivery system in place for our guy Grogan.
I found this bit of IMDb user trivia, and it says Brandy the dog is an Australian cattle dog. It's said to be the first appearance of such a dog in a movie. And I thought, how could you possibly know that? You get a lot of car guys, you get a lot of gun guys, you get a lot of knife and sword guys. You don't get a lot of cattle dog guys, though.
No, but I wonder if you come to the game bringing that kind of information, like you are a dog guy on the IMDb trivia, you probably have some information to back that.
Or you have so much confidence that no one's going to be like, you're a fucking liar.
No. So out on the rocky roads of the hill, we rejoin Maggie as her rented Jeep is overheating. This old jalopy is cooked, I tell you, as she finishes the trek on foot and lets herself into Paul Grogan's cabin.
Paul Grogan, this movie in general, specifically Paul Grogan, but the movie more broadly, has a very kind of anti-authoritarian, maybe not that. It has a suspicion of government.
Yeah.
A very post-Vietnam suspicion of government, and this almost weird understanding that a certain amount of Vietnam veterans came out of that war in like ended up like Paul Grogan, who are just like, I'm gonna go live off the grid. He's not like a prepper, he's not like a white supremacist, but he's just a guy who's like, well, the government fucked me. I don't want to live by anybody's rules. I'm just going to live in a cabin in the woods.
Yeah, the implication here is
very heavy suspicion of government.
Yeah, like the implication is that like everybody who's living out here by choice is doing it kind of because they're sort of like a broken toy who the government fucked over in some way.
Yeah, and it's never going to be explicit. They bump up against that a little bit towards the end, but it's just very heavily implied in a way that I find really interesting.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of dudes who kind of like went through it and then were like, we don't really want to talk about it. We just want you to know that we're not happy about it.
Yeah. She's out here on the lookout for a pair of missing kids.
She's real pushy.
I
will come to like her eventually. But
yeah,
in this scene, it's like, bitch, fuck off.
Also, she comes in and she's like, hey, you're Paul Grogan, right? I'm looking for these kids. It's like, how the fuck do you know who Paul is?
Right.
Because for a moment, I thought that she was there to get him.
Yeah. It's very strange. And then he's like, oh, did my ex-wife send you? And it's like, you're a dirtbag, I guess.
Yeah. So Paul is real coarse with her. He's just trying to live the quiet life of a mountain alcoholic, and you're looking in the wrong place for these kids, young lady. You need to check the dam. That's where they'll be if they drowned in the river. But there's also this army test site that you'll want to have a look at as well.
She's like, great, let's go. You're coming with me. And it's so presumptuous. And it's, I think, supposed to be like flirty and cute, but it's like, she's just kind of pushy and annoying.
Yeah, they
like
do.
If I'd be like, you need to get the fuck out of my house right now.
There are these moments where the movie tries to sort of push them together as a kind of romantic angle, but it never ever sticks or gels, and they seem to just kind of abandon it at a certain point.
They abandon a lot in this, but because they have a certain kind of chemistry, but it's not romantic chemistry.
Yeah,
and so it never feels right. And
they're more like Zoo Crew morning DJs.
Yeah. Like they're like they play off one another really well as slapstick comics. But the idea that she's so assertive to the point that like later on she's gonna be like, I have been trying to fuck you since I walked in the door. And it's like, yeah, it's not, no, none of us are getting that from you. And it's weird that they're trying to make her be this character.
Yeah.
But I think that speaks a lot.
What drew you to him? Was it his shitty 70s beard? Was it his
canteen of liquor?
Just the breath, the whiskey breath that's been drifting toward you on the breeze this whole movie?
The fact that the first thing he says to you is that he doesn't pay alimony. Yeah, it's this really strange, like, she's a progressive lady and she just speaks her mind and says what she wants. It's like, that's fine. Can she do it with someone that it works with, though?
Yeah, that's right. The bounty hunter is a woman.
Mm-hmm. Would you believe it? And they use the proper term, which is weird.
Skip trace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she talks him into bringing her to the test site where they break the chains and let themselves into this no trespassing situation.
It didn't go well last time.
The two of them make their way around the spot. They find pools where these kids were eaten by voracious mutant fish. And Paul dips a hand in the water and fish POV goes at him for a bite, but he pulls his hand out too quick. And they then sneak into the lab, find a bunch of animals in cages and a cup of coffee that's still warm. In the lab, there's some real sweet stop-motion animation of mutant creatures creeping around the desk in jars full of fetal creatures and formaldehyde.
So the intention with this sort of like little fishy homunculi was that it was going to be in the movie. It would show up periodically.
Yeah.
And each time it shows up, it would get a little bit bigger.
Again, when I was little and I saw this, I remember this part and being really, really spooked by the weird fish mutant.
It is an homage to Ray Harryhausen.
Yep.
And it's done well.
Mm-hmm.
It has no place in this movie at all. Obviously, they didn't have the money to do the rest of it. So it's like, why did you leave this part in
my? So I thought the same thing. And in my imagination, the way that I see it is, well, we fucking paid for this. We may as well use it. And he loves it. And the animation is really good.
It's probably that. It's probably like, well, I wanted to do this homage. We've still got a little bit of an homage. Let's just leave it in. It's not completely pointless, but you've left out the rest of it. And it has always bothered me because it's like, what is this scene doing in here?
Yeah, the original intention, and part of it is when Corman reallocated parts of the movie's budget for Avalanche, I think what went with it was budget for Dante's true intention for these monsters. Like apparently later on in the movie, towards the movie's climax, like the little one that we see climbing around is supposed to be like mutant and big and like attacks a bunch of people on a pier.
And I guess if you kind of zoom out a little bit, it is implied that what they're doing is like creating weird fishy hybrids to fight to use as weapons.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's completely out of the out of the plot, but like it's confusing and distracting. Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, it's kind of fun looking though.
Yeah, it is. In the tank, they find a strange creature that should be way more alarming to them than it is. Maggie continues to poke around and finds clothes and a backpack belonging to the missing kids. She determines that they're probably still here and hatches a plan to drain the tanks outside so they can have a look at the bottom for any bodies. The Maggie hits the switch to drain, and a crazed man with a hook leaps out of a hiding and attacks them. The two of them struggle with him, but ultimately they subdue the crazy guy. And outside,
professional crazy guy, Kevin McCarthy.
So that's him. Outside, they check the drained retention pond, and they end up finding skeletal remains. Looks like it might be a person, but they determine it to be a dog, maybe? They're going to look around some more, but they hear Maggie's Jeep driving away, and our crazy science dude is making like a tree, but he doesn't get too far. He passes out and crashes the Jeep in spectacular rollover fashion.
Well, you had rollover Jeep money. Why don't you just save some of that and get your homunculi?
Yeah, you got money for fake mustaches.
Yeah, where's my fucking money?
They find him laying there on the ground like he got tossed from the Jeep. And they take him back to Grogan's place and tie him up while he recovers. And when he wakes up, he freaks out. They drained the pond and the razor teeth got out. What a fiasco. What a fuck up. They'll breed like flies and then they'll kill us all, you fools.
And in the meantime, these two are getting real cozy on the couch.
That's right.
And she is, in this scene, extremely timid. It's almost like they didn't know what to do with this character, and maybe the last minute changes. It's like there's bad direction for her.
Right.
Like she doesn't really know what this person is and how she's supposed to play it.
Is this the scene where he puts the blanket out over them?
Yeah, it's really weird because it's like, until now, he has expressed no interest in her.
Yeah, he does this, and I was like, you expecting like a handy under the blanket or something? What's
well,
going on
because then
here?
she's just like, I've been trying to fuck you since I walked in the door. And he's like, okay, you know how ladies are. So fickle.
Yeah, I know. It is like they looked at this thing, and they're like, well, our two leads are a man and a woman. Like, we got to get them together. They got to be smooching at least.
Right, and that's just, I don't know. It doesn't
it doesn't work. It does not work. They don't have that kind of chemistry. And
Corman was like always looking for reasons to have boobs in his movie.
Yeah. Apparently in this one, he got to a point and was just like, maybe let's take a little bit of this. Let's take a little bit of nudity out.
And I'm sure they were all like, thank you.
Yeah. And then he got to a point where he started making Deathstalker and he was like boobs all the time.
He was like, let's just nothing but topless actresses.
So yeah, Maggie misunderstands and thinks that he's talking about a person who might want to kill him. She has no idea that he means those nasty ass fish. She tries to chat up Grogan by prying into his personal affairs, and she wonders when he became a drunk and assumes that his wife left him, but it turns out she wasn't wrong about him. She's a pretty sharp skip trace, don't you know?
A lady, no less.
Yeah, he didn't become a drunk until that bitch ex-wife of his left him.
Figures.
I know. He used to work at the smelter down the river until that meddling United States government shut them down for killing all the fish in the river. So now he just drinks and waits for his unemployment to run out.
On down in a dead man town.
So he needs to start working soon, though. He has a little girl, and Maggie finds a photo of her on the mantle. Remember what she looks like for later.
Mm-hmm. Like a Cindy, like a rough and tumble Cindy Brady.
Yeah. In the morning, he pledges to take her downriver and guides her out to the dock where a literal log raft waits. Were they not budgeted for a boat?
This feels like a weird compromise.
It's like they got to the location and they were like, shit, there are no boats, but they do have a weird log raft. Maybe we can use that.
And they were like, whatever. Let's just fucking finish this movie.
Yep. He explains it away by saying that he read Huckleberry Finn for his daughter and he built it because of that. And there have got to be better ways to get around this place than drifting down the muddy Mississippi on a perilous collection of logs lashed together with rope.
It does seem like a poor choice.
Now, his daughter, it turns out, had a pretty good instincts about this thing because they never got to try it out because she is afraid of the river.
She's right to be.
It's mysterious. Water's muddy. You can't see fucking unbelievable. There's going to be little fish down there trying to bite you.
Little fish? Who knows? Who knows what's in there? You ever seen you remember noodling? Remember when noodling was really popular on TV?
No.
Noodling is like when like they get the big hillbilly dudes like get in the river and they just go and like stick their hands into the what's the one that has little whiskers? The fish that has little whiskers. Yeah. They would stick their hands into because catfish, I think they live in holes. Like they live in like little holes in the river. They'd stick their hands in there until the catfish would bite them, and then they would pull the fish out of the water.
You can just use a fishing pole.
No. But that is what is in those waters.
No, thank you.
Catfish with ones with the whiskers and the mustache.
No, thank you. Don't want them. So now we cut to a summer camp down the river a ways. Grogan's daughter sits on the dock by the river all alone while the rest of the kids run wild. One of the counselors, Laura, played by Melanie Thomas Scott, who has 3,744 episodes of The Young and the Restless to her name.
God bless.
Yeah. Like, what is that? Was that like 3 seasons of the show?
That's a season and a half. Easy.
She tries to encourage her to jump in and swim over to the marker so she can get her water badge.
First of all, I like both of the counselors.
I do like both of the counselors as well.
I quite famously do not like children. I don't like them in movies. I don't like them in the real world. I do like this girl.
Again, she's resourceful. She's clever.
She's scrappy.
Mm-hmm.
She's a little science based. She's like, I don't need to get in the water. The water is full of things that are going to hurt me.
Yeah, catfish.
And they're like, exactly. She's like, what am I, a noodler? The fuck out of here. Yeah. She does look like she's wearing a bad wig. They could have at least combed it.
Right.
But I do like that she's just kind of like, I don't want to get in the water. I don't really like these other kids. Because that's kind of how I am.
Don't like water, also, don't like kids.
Also how I sort of historically have always been is like, I don't really like other kids, even when I was one.
Susie's not having it. Laura tries to convince her that it's nothing but a few little fish in there and they're not super interested in biting the fingers and toes of little kids. I guess we'll put that to the test a little later on in the movie.
Susie, you fool.
Along comes the camp director, Mr. Dumont. He's shitty and mean and played by Paul Bartel.
Yeah, this is about as masculine as Paul Bartel's ever going to get.
Where Laura takes the soft approach, Dumont tells this 8-year-old girl that she has no guts, is going to lose some kind of competition for the camp.
He is a strange actor because he's not really an actor. He was a director and a writer. But whenever he shows up in movies, he always plays the weirdest characters.
He must have had a strange vibe that everybody was like, I have this weird character that I'm putting in my movie. Let's see if I can get Paul Bartel to be in it.
I think he was like eventually became kind of like a cult figure.
Yeah.
And so people were like, throw him in there.
Yeah, it's because of these movies. It's like whenever he and Mary Warnoff showed up in anything, they were like, there they are. Mm-hmm. The gruesome twosome.
Couple of queens.
And then a few years later, she talks shit about him.
Hate that. Hate that part.
So back at Keenan Wynn's camp, he is wasted and chilling on the dock of the bay with his dog.
I love this scene. I love this scene because of the way he's like telling some silly story, and the dog's being a dog. It's just sort of like looking around. He's like, hey, I'm telling you a story. You're not listening to me. But it's like the way that he's talking to his dog is very, it's very natural. Like this feels ad-libbed a little bit because he's like, I'm telling you a story.
Yeah.
Come on.
You know what? I like Keenan Wynn whenever he's in anything, and I had to like remind myself of what I've seen him in, and I looked him up and I was like, he's recognizable for mysterious reasons, apparently, because I don't remember him from any of these movies.
He was in a lot of Westerns.
Yeah.
He was on a lot of TV, like in the 60s, like late 50s into the 60s. He would just, like a lot of people, he would pop up on like an episode of The Brady Bunch, or I think his father is in an episode of Twilight Zone. His father or his brother? I think it's his father. The Mad Hatter. That's his father, right?
Yes. From Batman.
No, from Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, shit. Okay.
The movie.
Okay, yes, because his dad was the guy who did that fucking voice.
Had that voice, yes.
Yeah.
And so he's in an episode, but he would just pop up in all that shit, like how Vincent Price would always pop. Like it was just sort of a quick way to
Keenan
make
Wynn's
some
dad
money.
was the originator of the Yes guy.
No, it's a little bit different. The Yes guy is, I don't know where that comes from, other than The Simpsons.
Yeah. Because that is a parody of a character. I'm going to look that up right now.
He has he had sort of a very goofy voice. Very distinct.
Yeah. Oh, no. Frank Nelson is the
Yes.
guy who originated the Yes guy voice. Yeah. So, he's out there fishing, but mostly drinking. Dog gets all weird and alert, and then the fish POV attack, eating his legs as he sits there screaming.
Oh, it's terrible.
I know. Out on the lazy river, Grogan and Maggie drift down with Hoke, the crazy guy they captured at the lab. He tells her to keep her hands out of the river because it's filled with carnivorous fish, piranha, and it's all your fault, you idiot.
Yep.
Because we must remember, she did drain the tank into the river. It's Maggie's fault that all of this is happening.
True. She could have just left well enough alone.
So they get into the river. He says they got into the river when you drained the pond. And Grogan remarks that those are warm water fish. What would they be doing here? Now, the raft drifts past Keenan Wynn's bloody dock where only the dog remains. They tie up and have a look around, finding Keenan dead with skeletal legs and feet.
It's a little silly.
Grogan is all broken up. His booze hookup is dead. So they get to burying him on his property.
But he does say he wouldn't want to be buried in town.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is like another sort of nod to that, like, these are people who have chosen to extricate themselves from society.
Yeah. I mean, like, left to their own devices, one of them is going to start sending mail bombs.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know who would do that, but
Grogan strikes me as a Unabomber type.
yeah. Also the Unabomber who lived at a cabin in the woods and was a crazy person.
Back at camp, Susie and Counselor Betsy throw darts at a picture of Mr. Dumont. Where they got it, I don't know. And Betsy gets an idea. She uses a red marker to fake a knee injury so Dumont will leave little Susie alone.
But then she puts a bandage on it. So it's like, well, if you're going to put a bandage on it,
Well, no, she puts
marker?
she puts the bandage on it and then she marks it up a little bit in red, like she's.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So out of the river, we find father and son in a canoe. Dad's trying to untangle their fishnet from the bottom of the river, and he complains that back in his day, they used to make their own fishnets, and they made them right. And they
used to go noodling.
And they drank from the garden hose and rode bikes without helmets, and everything was simpler and better back then.
That's true. You know what we should do? I feel like when it comes time to vote again, we should choose the person who indicates that they would like us to go back to that era. I think it'll work out very well.
When we had lead in gasolines and everybody, kids wrote in cursive and everybody knew how to drive a manual.
I do know how to drive a manual.
I do know how to.
I haven't driven a car in years, and I don't ever intend to drive one again. But I do know how to drive a manual.
But then
standard, right? Standard.
A standard
manuals.
stick, yeah.
Manuals.
Manual transmission. You would call it a standard. So yeah, but then the fish attack and this guy panics and he tips the canoe over. The dude goes in and the water blooms red as the fish eat him alive. His son manages to climb on top of the capsized canoe, but can only watch his father die before his very eyes in gory fashion.
And this is another, it's almost like Sayles and Joe Dante didn't really know what to do with the more serious moments.
Yeah.
Because this is one of those moments where it's like, this is a child watching his father get eaten
These
to
are the
death.
these are the moments that I remember, because like I remember seeing this on like Channel 25 or something like that in the like some Saturday afternoon, and I was really little at the time, and like these moments really fucked with me, which is why I have this memory of this movie being much more intense and like grim than it is.
It's weird though, because they just don't seem to know how to address them. They're like, it's a thing that happens. And then we move on to the yucks again.
Yeah.
Because the kid is just sort of like floating on top of the boat. And then they'll like get him to land, and then he just kind of fucks off. And it's like, you're fine.
Yeah, we never see him again. They just kind of ruffle his hair and send him on his way.
Yeah.
So back at the log raft, Hoke explains that he was the recipient of a shitload of government money for weird science projects that would benefit the military. Operation Razor Teeth, they called it. It was all to develop a new kind of piranha that could breed fast, survive in the Vietnamese river systems, and destroy the local ecology.
Cool.
Maggie can't believe that he put them in the river where they could kill people, and he's quick to remind her that
technically she did that.
He didn't kill anybody, and hey, dummy, you're the one that released them, and besides, hey, this was steady work. I wasn't held down by academic politics. I didn't have to scrounge your grant money. This mutant fish project was worth its weight in gold.
I think there was, and maybe to a certain extent, this is a little bit true, I think there was a perception that there were some scientists, because scientists are a particular breed of people, that they're so focused and they care only about their work, and like that the moral implications of what they're doing, like if you think back to things like the development of shit like napalm.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, because like there is like there. I mean, for all of these guys who did like work that is very important and helpful and beneficial to humanity, there were guys out there who were making shit like Agent Orange and drugs like BZ.
Right, and I think there was an unnuanced perception of that, like an understanding that like there are just, these guys are so into their science, when the reality is a lot more complicated than that. Like I think that's what fucking Nolan's bomb movie really shows, is like it wasn't quite so cut and dry. Like they thought they were doing the right thing, but in 1978, when we were 3 years from the fall of Saigon?
Yeah, 3 years after Saigon.
And so like I think they just saw it as like, there are people like this, and he is just a pure science. It's all he cares about. The moral implications of his work don't matter, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay. But then they turned the character in a very, very odd way that makes zero sense.
Yep. Now, Grogan remembers that they spill out some of the damned river every once in a while to maintain river levels. There's camps and kids down there. And then we cut to a shot of kids splashing around and playing like crazy people in the river.
They are going to use this shot 3 more times.
What I do love about this is how often he kind of loads the tension with shots of people like in the water, going into the water, dipping their hands in the water, putting their feet in the water.
You got to pad that runtime.
So they hope to make it to camp before they let out the dam and release the fish, and then they come upon the kid on the canoe, still calling out to his dad, who is fully fish food now. Mm-hmm. Now, Hoke, for some reason, leaps in to save the kid and swims over.
So this is what I mean. It's like, you've just presented this guy to us who is supposed to be like some hard scientist. And now he's like, this is my redemption moment.
I know.
And so he dives in to save the kid. Now, he doesn't make it very far. Why didn't you just let him coast over on the raft and get the kid?
They're drifting in that direction anyways. So yeah, he leaps in to save him, and the kid swims over, and the piranhas swim after him. And Grogan and Maggie do what they can to get to him, but they can only pole along the river so fast. Now, Hoke almost makes it, but he too traumatizes the kid by being eaten alive in a bloom of bloody water just as he reaches the canoe.
And in the background, DiMaggio's sentimental score swells in the weirdest way possible.
Grogan and Maggie pull the kid on board, and then they pull Hoke out of the water, but he's dead and covered in little fish bites.
This kid is also super 70s.
Oh, shit.
He's like Bad News Bears kid.
That's right. So they continue on down the river, and Hoke's bloody dead hand lazes in the water. The blood summons the nasty-ass fish who arrive and get to work on eating the rope that's lashing the raft together. Now, realizing that the blood is drawing the fish, they roll Hoke's body into the water so they'll eat him and not the ropes, and they traumatize the surviving kid all over again. So
the kid is like yelling something about his dad? Does he think Hoke is his father?
I think so. And then they're like, we got to get him out of here. Or these fish are gonna eat the raft. And the kid's like, no, don't do that. I'm like, you guys, take it easy on this poor kid.
You know, this I think is, if there are problems, this movie has tons and tons of problems. I love it anyway, but it has tons of problems. And one of them is that they never spend long enough on anything for it to mean something. Like, you could have taken a moment here to, like, I don't know, be like, we have to jettison the body or whatever, but they're just like, nope, bye.
One by one, the logs come apart as they try to get to shore, and then they manage to leap safely as the last logs roll out from underneath them. Now, Grogan runs down to the dam, hearing an air horn that signals that they're about to open the spillways and release some of the water into the nearby lake. The dude working the valve struggles to do his very simple job because he's too busy watching cartoons on a nearby TV.
Mm-hmm. So we can't take the time with the traumatized child or Hoke's body or anything. We can spend an awful lot of time watching this guy do his job while also watching TV.
Yeah.
Just cut this fucking scene from the movie.
Because, they do. They get to shore, they kind of tussle the kid's hair, and they're like, all right, kid, get the fuck out of here. You bother me. And then he goes running, and we watch this guy just like, Butterfingers, like dropping this crank that he
just
can't.
Just call me Mr. Butterfingers.
And then, the tools just slip right out of his stupid hands, buying Grogan enough time to get there and stop him.
It's that kind of whiplash, traumatized child, Hoke body pushed into the water, and then
yeah, that's
cartoons.
The thing is like what you can
whoa.
see here is in the coming years, like Joe Dante is really going to sort of get his hands around what the Joe Dante style is, but he's still real wet behind the ears here, and he is direct product of Corman's like crash course in filmmaking, and so like the kind of competing sensibilities are really kind of crashing into one another, where like he wants to make a Joe Dante movie that has like cartoons and classic horror movies and, silly cartoon bullshit like you're going to see in like The Burbs in a few years. Like 10 years later, he's going to have that stuff figured out. But he also needs to make a movie for Roger Corman that's really cheap and done fast.
It's almost like he needs another person there, a producer. To kind of corral him a little bit.
Because in this case, I don't think I mentioned it up top, was Corman was singularly focused on Avalanche. Avalanche had nearly had like a nearly a $7 million budget, which is like really fucking big for Roger Corman. And he was all in on that one, and there was really no producer there with Dante to sort of guide him and sort of move him through the process. And so I
don't know that Corman would have been the right guy, but like you see, watch something like Gremlins, and it's like, when he does have someone there, a very talented someone to kind of be like, just stay in your fucking lane and make the movie, then he cranks something out that's really, really good. Same with like his part in Twilight Zone. He's able to make good movies. He just needs someone there to sort of like keep him in his lane.
His segment in the Twilight Zone fucking rules. His partnership with Steven Spielberg is like fucking magic. It's a truly beautiful pairing.
But this is, I think, an example of what happens when there is nobody there to sort of guide him and keep him on track. It is just banging around like a pinball.
Yeah. Yeah. So now along comes the military in their trucks and with Barbara Steele.
Looking as Barbara Steely as ever.
Fucking beautiful woman.
She's fantastic.
It's fantastic. It would seem that Grogan called them in. And the soldiers throw some meat into the water to bait the fish. And when the soldier pulls it back, there's not much left. But Barbara Steele, she's got a plan. They brought along some poison, and they're going to poison the river to kill the fish.
Now, she's another kind of example of that, like, well, we're just going to murder all the fish and kill all the life. What's wrong with that?
The recurring...
It's very like when Mr. Burns is like, well, pigs need food. When he creates his Little Lisa slurry, he's just like, well, I don't see the problem with this. This solves an issue.
Yeah. But the fact that, like, the nefarious military's plot is, well, we're going to kill the fish by poisoning the entire water system here. And then later on, they're like, we got to get out of here. We got to solve this problem, not the military's way, by going down and poisoning the water with an entirely different collection of poison.
Mm-hmm. And this is also when Maggie is like talking to Barbara Steele, and she's like, oh, you knew Hoke. And she was like, yes, you could say that. We were more than colleagues. And it's like, this movie wants us to believe that beautiful Barbara Steele and insane Kevin McCarthy were a couple.
He was maybe a different person back in their science days. Not nearly as sweaty or frightened.
Hey, there's a lid for every pot, as they say.
So the military wants them to join their team and shut up about flooding the river with poison. It figures. You can't trust the state. Now, Grogan points out that the river system feeds into a stream that cuts around and ends up in the big lake anyways, and if they contain the fish here, they'll just swim around to avoid the poison. Barbara Steele assures them that that's a really stupid premise because they're just fish and aren't really that smart. But then Maggie tells her that Hoke's experiments were crazy as hell. What if? Barbara counters. Hoke was a dreamer, and not just that. He was my lover.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful dreamer!
Maggie realizes that this is all a big cover-up, and they're complicit now. And Grogan is out there making a lot of noise, too, so the military decides to hold them hostage in a tent. Grogan immediately makes a plan. We need to get past that guard. You distract him, Maggie, and then they come up with a contrivance, but she points out a hilarious potential hitch in the plan. What if he's gay?
Well, okay. I would ordinarily be the one to jump on this, but I don't think it's meant as a joke. I mean, I think it is meant as a joke, but I don't think it's meant as a mean-spirited joke. I think it's meant as like
the thing is like, not really. It's just like, what if he's just not into my boobs?
Yeah, because she's like, well, what if he's gay? And he's like,
he goes,
then I'll distract him. Like, it's all said with like, it's all very matter of fact. It's like, that's the humor is not about the sexuality. The humor is about them using sexuality to distract the guard. It's a small distinction, but it matters because this is 1978, where they could have been like, fags, am I right?
So she goes out and asks the guard if he's gay, and then she flashes her boobs at him, and then they black bag the guy and drive away in his truck.
I just like how bewildered he is in the entire scene, because she's like, are you gay? And he's like, what? And then she flashes her tits, and then he's like, wait, what did you just say to me before, though? It's one of the best moments in the movie.
It's a pretty funny moment. Out at camp, Mr. Dumont gets a call from Grogan trying to talk to his daughter. Dumont rightly assumes that the guy is drunk and dismisses the claims and that the piranhas are coming out to eat all the children. They're left with no choice. They have to drive down and deal with it permanently, but here comes the Popo. And they also don't believe them about piranhas and also rightly assume that he's drunk. So the cop
he starts pronouncing it differently. So we get piranha, piranha, piranhas,
and
piranha,
and piranha.
Yep.
Yeah, Barbara Steele calls them piranhas because she's classy.
Yeah, she's Brazilian, apparently.
So the cops call the army to see why they might be out riding around in one of their trucks, and then they talk the cop into holding those crazy drunk locals on their behalf. So the cop throws them in the hoosegow and tells them they'll be spending the night.
And this is where I'm just like, Jesus Christ, we have been everywhere in this movie.
Oh, we're not done, because the army also calls up Buck Gardner, a local real estate magnate. Maybe. This is the first time we're seeing him. We're thrust into an entirely different situation and media res.
But that's from here on out. That is how the rest of this movie is going to unfold. They're going to be like, new place, new people.
It would seem that Colonel Waxman, the army guy in charge of keeping a lid on all the piranha business, has investments in the local lakeside resort that opens up in the morning. The piranhas would be bad for business, so they have to keep Grogan and Maggie on ice so nobody gets spooked and stays away, see?
And all the kids from the karate school are karateing the picket fences.
The Dumont, meanwhile, interrupts counselors Betsy and Laura, who are about to go for a late swim since they can't get any swimming in on their own with all these kids around.
Oh, you mean these 30-year-old teenagers?
Well, that was close. They almost jumped in the piranha water.
Oh, piranha.
Now, back at the clink, Maggie kicks the drain pipe loose and turns on the faucet to create a contrivance to draw the cop to her cell. And because she's just a little lady, he lets himself in the cell and attempts to fix the broken pipe, but she whacks him over the head and steals his keys by taking off his pants.
It's a real slapstick strategy to get out of jail that would almost certainly kill him.
Yeah.
Because she hits him with pieces of the broken toilet tank.
When I saw that, all I could remember is there's a moment in True Romance where she basically bludgeons the guy to death with it, and it is you like if you've ever lifted one of those things, like you can feel the weight in your hand, and you can imagine that like you hit somebody with that once, you're gonna fucking crush their fucking head.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, no, she just gives a little bonk around the noggin, takes his pants off because it's funny. And then she lets them both out and they steal the cop's car. And out at the resort, we find a large crowd of people enjoying the day. As you can see, it's a beautiful day. The beaches are open and people are having a wonderful time. But too bad they're about to all be eaten by voracious fish.
Also, this is not water that I would even consider getting into.
Jesus Christ. I've got problems with this water. There's shit floating in it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of grass and weeds.
Plant material.
And they are just in it.
And look, wherever there's plant material, 100% of the time, anacondas.
Snakes up. Yes. Yes. There's going to be snakes all over you. Leeches? Ugh. Have you considered leeches?
Yes, this is why I don't get into the water.
Exactly. That's why I don't go in the water. So they have a ribbon cutting ceremony to open this new resort, and everybody gets about to boarding boats and running right into the water.
Someone needs to cool it.
Back at camp, it's time for water competition, whatever that is. Counselors line the kids up, get them all ready to be fish food. While driving to the camp like a crazy person, Grogan remembers that the water in the pond that held all the piranhas was salt water, so these fish could obviously survive in both types of water. And they're heading downstream because they're making their way to the ocean. Oh no!
Mm-hmm.
Dumont spots Susie just hanging out, reading comic books, not splashing around in the water, and commands her to suck it up and get out there, soldier.
Now, he's going to regret that.
We cut to a shot of kids splashing around like maniacs and the fish making their way to all those kids. Now, Susie takes advantage of all the chaos to hide under a boat.
I do not approve of this hiding spot because you know what else? You know where else snakes like? Under the boat.
Just playing in the boat.
Tie up the jetty.
So Dumont then climbs in the water, starts some kind of inner tube race. It's just kids going this way and that with no clear...
Yeah, it's supposed to be a race, but they all appear to be going in different directions.
Yep, no clear objective. Now suddenly the fish strike. They start eating the children, and one even leaps out of the water and bites Dumont right on the face.
And so this is another moment where the movie takes a very stark shift.
Yeah.
Because this scene is real hard.
Going back to when I was a kid, it was like, they're not supposed to hurt children in movies. And then these kids, like, it's like blood all over their inner tubes. There's blood in the water. They're all crying.
Yeah, it's like panic and disaster and blood. And it's like, we were all having a zany time 5 seconds ago.
Yeah. And this one character, Mr. Dumont, is like, prior, it's like a nat kind of character, but now he's just like powerless to stop these children from being hurt. He's standing around doing his best to save them.
It's really weird. Like, again, it's that feeling like they just didn't know what to do with these serious moments. And so they were like, well, here's something terrifying anyway.
Yeah. It's mayhem. Children are being bitten all over the place, and there's blood all over their inner tubes as the fish go apeshit on them. Every one of these kids is sitting in an inner tube, meaning they're all about to enter the kingdom of heaven ass first.
And but you know what? This poor girl, whatever the fuck her name is, his daughter,
Susie.
She's like, I'm gonna try and help somehow.
I love it. This is why I love her. Mm-hmm. She's assertive. Susie sees the distress, tries to push a boat out to help, but it's way too heavy. So she resorts.
I feel like there's a lot of me and Susie. Susie's like, can you just leave me alone?
I'm just gonna sit over here and read my comic books.
Yeah, but then I'd be like, people are getting eaten. I should do something. Here's a boat. Good luck.
Yeah, so she takes an inflatable boat and rows through the madness to her friendly counselor girls while Dumont suffers incalculable pain of piranha bites to pull the kids out of the water.
At least he's trying to help.
Yeah. He gets a little hero turn. Yeah, Susie pulls Laura into the boat, but she can't reach Betsy, and the fish
Betsy.
The fish chow down on her, dragging her down to Davy Jones's locker.
I loved Betsy. I didn't want this to happen.
She did not deserve this. The Grogan and Maggie arrive at the camp as things are cooling off, and Maggie goes to call the resort to warn them about the piranha attacks. And she reaches Buck Gardner and gets to telling him about the madness while Grogan helps his daughter out of the water. Gardner, of course, ignores her warnings and hangs up. And out at camp, Dumont is hanging in there, half-eaten. The kids are all bitten.
It's a real hard... Like, this is another scene when they cut to Dumont on the ground, and Paul Bartel has this look on his face that's like... half shame, half horror.
He has, because he's also got a child under a blanket implying that they're dead right next to him.
It's another one of those, like, you don't expect Paul Bartel to be a good actor, but in that moment, he really is.
Yeah. So over at the resort, everyone is just having so much fun swimming around in the lagoon, just lousy with floating weeds.
Ugh, disgusting.
Yeah, a fat guy falls down while drinking a beer and trying to sit on his, on his beach chair. Everybody laughs.
Oh, it's funny.
Oh, that's comedy, man. Waxman and Barbara Steele are also there to make sure everything goes off without a hitch and to try and get ahead of any attempts to derail it with any panic talk about piranhas.
I feel like in a weird turn of irony, Jaws 3 is going to rip off this scene.
Yeah.
I know, because I just saw it in the theater.
While they're there, they may as well take part in all the festivities, and they get on a boat to party down. Now, out on the lake, a couple of girls tow a dude who does some fancy water skiing on just one ski. And
like, this scene is literally in Jaws 3.
Yeah. And then some scuba dudes drop in to explore the briny deep. And one of the divers suddenly comes under attack by hungry fish that just can't seem to eat enough.
Well, it's not briny, though, because it's fresh water.
It is a sugary brine.
It's more like the brackish deep.
And the girls keep towing the water ski guy who skis right by the dead scuba diver in the bloody water. He tries to signal to them that there's a dead guy over there, but the girls misunderstand and just pour on the juice. And he gets to them to stop, and the fish come for him, and then they hit the gas, and there's other boats around, and there's a real calamity in the wings. The skier goes flying, and a nearby boat crashes through another for a real somebody help the people moment.
Yeah, it's because you blow up a boat because you gotta.
And resulting in a fireball and a pretty cool flying boat stunt.
Mm-hmm.
And then the skier is presumably eaten alive by fish. I was hoping you'd get the hook there with the somebody help the people.
Oh, no, I was trying to think of a way to work it in, but I couldn't.
Somebody help the people.
One of the greatest moments in cinematic history.
So all the people laying around the lake and all that nasty seaweed start getting eaten by the piranhas. Kids, guys with shitty 70s beards, girls who lose their bikini tops for some reason, everyone.
It's a Roger Corman movie. That's the reason.
And they all try and climb on the party boat as we're treated to all these nasty close-ups of people being eaten by piranhas. Grogan and Maggie show up just in time for the mayhem. The party boat tips and Colonel Waxman goes over to be ironically eaten by the very monster he was sent to cover up.
And his hat floats ominously to the bottom of the lake or river or whatever.
Now Maggie and Grogan climb into a boat. He's got a plan. The fish will head toward the narrow outlet on the way out to the ocean, right down by the old smelting plant. So they'll flood the waters with toxic sludge and poison literally everything in the water. But when they get to their destination, the plant has been flooded.
Why is the plant flooded?
I don't know. I really do not know. Because of the dam and the spillways and shit.
But if you open the spillway is designed to do exactly that. Why would you put a building in the spillway?
To create a moment of narrative tension.
Boo.
So Grogan decides that he has to dive in and open the tanks on his own. So they tie a rope to him and he dives in with not but a couple of minutes to reach the tanks and open them.
Yeah, he says count to 100. Now, in the original script, she was supposed to count to 300, which is 5 minutes. And they were like, there are very few people who can hold their breath for 5 minutes.
So he dives in and gets to work, reaching the shed where the poison's at. It's
The
all
underwater photography is kind of nice.
It is. Which is also surprising that the movie was budgeted as it was, because like working on the water and in the water is notoriously difficult. Just ask Steven Spielberg.
Well, that's why they're working on like a fucking stream.
Yeah. So it's all looking good. No piranhas. So he gets to work in the valve open and sludge tanks, but he finds that it's quite stuck. Slowly but surely he starts to get it open, but here come the fish. They quickly get to work eating Grogan as his time under the water runs out. Now, luckily, he gets the tanks open, but it's not looking good for him as all those piranhas are just going ape on him. And Maggie hits the throttle, the rope drags Grogan out of the shed and into the open water, away from the sludge and the piranhas.
And Pino Donaggio's score swells again triumphantly.
Once she's at a safe distance, she pulls the rope up and finds a broken end, but Grogan's surface is all eaten and shit. Back on the shore, we find news on site to report on the horror of Party Beach.
This would have been a great moment for Rockin' Ricky Rialto.
It would have been. But you know who we got? Gooch Kook from American Ninja.
I thought I recognized him.
Yeah. It's all bloody and dead bodies just everywhere. Gardner crawls through the bodies, unable to accept his role in this nightmare. As Susie comes along and finds Maggie and her partially eaten dad, and all's well that ends well, I guess.
Except he looks catatonic.
And the news asks Barbara Steele if there's a chance any of the fish got away and entered the ocean, and she assures them that that's stupid and not a thing to assume because they can't survive in salt water. But remember what Grogan recalled? That they found them in a saltwater tank?
And even if you don't, she breaks the fourth wall to give us that there's going to be a sequel look.
Looks right at you to tell you, hey, there might be a sequel. Stay tuned.
And is it going to be good? No, it's going to be fucking terrible.
Directed by James Cameron.
With a soundtrack by Stelvio Cipriani.
Yep. So we cut to the shot of the ocean. Everybody's enjoying a day on the surf. Then we hear that sound that informs us that the piranhas are coming. And everything turns red and we roll our credits.
It's a good movie. I mean, okay, it's not a good movie.
No.
It's a good movie.
It's an enjoyable movie. It's fun. It's very Joe Dante. And it's very formative.
All over
Joe
the
Dante.
place.
All over the place. Can't decide if it wants to be like funny or fun or like a horror movie. But it all works out in the end in a way that like it doesn't really fucking matter.
But I think that if you showed this now to people who had never seen it, who weren't that familiar with Joe Dante, I don't know that it would go over well. I think you need a lot of context to understand this movie.
Yeah.
And to enjoy it for what it is.
True.
Like, I think that's why a lot of the critics didn't, is they were like, what is this? Why is this all over the place?
Yeah, I think that's why the remakes lean so hard into the comedy.
Yeah.
Is because obviously that's kind of what they were going for with this one, but like the sort of checklist of Corman requirements for a movie just kept getting in the fucking way of it being
there's a lot
Joe
of competing
Dante movie.
interests.
Yeah. And so, but I love it. I had a lot of fun with this one. We had a lot of fun with this one in the Discord. Yeah. Recommended.
This is like, so you watch Jaws every summer. I watch this every summer. I mean, I watch Jaws too, but like I also enjoy this one every summer.
Nope. Got to watch my Jaws on July 4th. But yep. Piranha. You're fun. Good. You had a good time with you. Thanks. So with Piranha out of the way, what's next? What's up?
Next week, 99-cent rental. We are going back in the water.
We're flipping the script literally, and we're giving you
the Poseidon Adventure.
Giving you more Shelley Winters.
I love the Poseidon Adventure. It is a gigantic disaster movie with a fucking huge cast.
Let's see. I've never really gotten the Irwin Allen bug, so let's see where I land on this one, because I honestly can't remember the last time I watched this.
Oh, it's so good. So good. Well, and then in 2 weeks, Bring Me the Axe coming back with the indescribable mess that is Fatal Frames.
It is
a movie made by people who you would assume had never seen movies before.
It is what happens when you have reached the bottom of the Jallo barrel. There is no further depths to scrape.
Is this an Al Festa movie?
This is a movie that is directed by Al Festa, who is not known as a film director. He is a musician and a composer, and
not a very good one at that.
No, he's fucking terrible. This movie exists at a cross section of all of the absolute fucking last resorts of Italian filmmaking. It's Fabrizio De Angelis at wit's end. He couldn't even get Bruno Mattei for this. It's Al Festa in a
If you can't even get Bruno Mattei, just pack it up.
It's Al Festa in a vanity project that was meant to promote his girlfriend's acting and singing career.
Like if Kash Patel made a movie.
Yes. And this girl is fucking terrible. It's like 90 minutes of a Jallo that you can predict from the opening moments. And it features a cast of thousands telling this one woman what a great actor and singer she is.
I don't think I've ever made it through the entire movie.
It is unfucking real. And Donald Pleasance is in it. And he acts like he has no idea what he's doing.
He probably doesn't. Didn't he die a couple years later?
I believe the movie was released posthumously, so we'll see. Yeah. I'm looking forward to this one. Hopefully we're going to have a great guest for it. But yeah, when I last saw that one, I was like, oh, we're doing that one on the podcast.
I don't know. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm in.
It's fucking horrible. It's stupid. And we're just going to have a good time with it.
All right.
Yep. So we'll see you next week with Poseidon Adventure, and we're back in 2 with Fatal Frames.